Louisiana is recognized.
Mr. Chairman, thank you for being here. Thank you for your services. I think I've said before, I believe you and your team probably saved the world economy during the pandemic economic meltdown when the whole world wanted dollars by establishing the currency swap line. So I thank you for that. You gave an interview, Mr. Chairman, on February 4th of this year to CBS, 60 Minutes, I think. Is that right?
Yep.
I ordered a transcript of that hearing, which I read. I learned a lot reading it. You were asked a question about inflation, and you asked a question about prices declining. And here was your response. I'd like to quote you, if it's okay. Quote, "So the prices of some things will decline, others will go up, but we don't expect to see a decline in the overall price level. That doesn't tend to happen in economies except in very negative circumstances." End quote. Did I quote you accurately?
I believe you did.
Okay. Later in the interview, you were asked about the national debt. Do you recall that?
I don't actually, but I'm sure that's right.
Okay. Well, at least according to the transcript, your answer was, and again, I'm quoting you, "In the long run, the United States is on an unsustainable fiscal path. The U.S. federal government's on an unsustainable fiscal path. And that just means that the debt is growing faster than the economy. So it is unsustainable." End quote. Do you remember saying that?
I've said that many times. I think that's uncontroversial.
Okay. Later in the interview, you said, I want to quote, "You know, I would just say this, integrity is priceless. And at the end, that's all you have. And we plan on keeping ours," end quote. Is that an accurate statement?
Yes, it is.
Okay. That's why I want to ask you about the FDIC. Have you read the article in the Wall Street Journal entitled, quote, "Strip clubs, lewd photos, and a boozy hotel, the toxic atmosphere at bank regulator FDIC," end quote?
I think I did read that a couple months ago.
Did you read the article entitled, I quote again, "FDIC lawyer stayed on paid leave for weeks after child porn arrest," end quote?
I don't remember that one.
Okay, did you read the article entitled, also in the Wall Street Journal, quote, "FDIC chair, known for temper, ignored bad behavior in workplace," end quote?
Honestly, I don't. I read so much. I can't. I remember the broad story, but not particular stories.
Did you read the article in which a former female employee of the FDIC allegedly recalled her male colleagues saying women needed to use sex to get ahead at the FDIC?
I do not recall that. No.
Okay. Did you read the article in which a female risk management examiner during a lunch with a male examiner said she had become friendly with that examiner, and he complained to her about his marriage, allegedly, telling her he wasn't getting enough sex. And she allegedly said, quote, "Obviously, if I walked," or he allegedly said, "Obviously, if I walked into this office and you were naked, I'd fuck you right here," end quote?
I do not remember that, and I think I would.
Okay. Do you remember the article about Mr. Randall Ditch, a supervisory examiner in Denver, who allegedly was demoted in 2014 to a non-supervisory examiner position in Tulsa after having sex twice with a subordinate female employee and a number of other rule violations? In this article, it says allegedly Mr. Ditch had urged the woman to not, quote, be a pussy, close quote, and drink a shot of whiskey during work hours, the records show. Do you recall that?
I do not recollect
Okay.
that. No.
Here's my question. I could go on for a while.
Could go on, but you're not going to go on, so you've passed your 5 minutes. Do your question once.